Welcome to Pink Kink,
where we are ready to guide you through the wild and wonderful world of kink.
I'm Princess Rara.
And I'm Dara, the Electro Khaleesi.
Whether you are a baby kinkster, a seasoned pro, or just here for the entertainment, Pink Kink will help you level up your kink knowledge.
Join us as we share our own wild, sometimes awkward, but always entertaining experiences and spill the tea from our combined 30-plus years in the private and professional kink worlds.
So grab your favorite flogger or wand.
Thank you.
And buckle up. You'll learn, you'll laugh, and who knows, you might just spit out your coffee.
Let's get this kinky party started.
Want more Pink Kink in your life? Join our Patreon and get ready for a whole lot of kinky fun and exclusive perks.
As a patron, you'll unlock access to our private Discord server where you can connect with fellow kinksters and chat directly with us. You'll also score adorable pink kink stickers and enjoy a monthly behind-the-scenes podcast packed with juicy tidbits we don't share anywhere else. Plus, get sweet discounts at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique, and on our online classes at Pink Kink Institute.
But wait, there's more.
More?
Our impactful and electrifying Pink Kinksters get extras, such as bonus content and free digital downloads. Oh, and let's not forget, the Pink Standard of patrons will be recognized as producers on both the podcast and on our website, because we couldn't do this without you.
Pink Kink runs on the love and support of our amazing patrons, so join the party today. Visit us at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast or click on the link on pinkkinkpodcast.com.
Today's episode is produced by our electrifying Pink Kinksters. Thank you, Jay, Witcherman, Daddy J, Naughty and Nice, Butte Pain, Manda Panda, Cat, Stefan, Shadow Phoenix, Enchanted Sparrow, The Wombat, Impact Hazard, Twitch, The Midnight Girl, Sinful, J21, Daisy If You Do, Serenity, Belle, Eric, Pumpkin Pie, S'more, Hacksaw, Devoted Knight, 3 a.m. Thoughts, Crash Override, Swiper, no swiping,
Barbie, Navigator Bard, Mr. Pillsbury, Peaches, Mighty Owl, Chaos Monster, Jessa Lady, Jack, Ophelia, Lady to Kitten, Sadia Lemon, Ben, Noir, Elysium Rose, Avalia, Nora Morapora, Bricks, Wonder Chris, Cheshi, Manders, Swinging Amish, Dark Gaia, Hyper Tarantula, Sunny Bee, Baby Squirrel, and Freddy Queen.
I thought it was time we did one of these again, because I checked our list and the calendar, and it has been forever.
Yep.
Since we did one of these.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Actually, I don't even remember the last time we did one.
No, we try to do like 2 a year, and so this will finally be number 2, but I think we did one at the more toward the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we're kind of pushing it.
I know. It is time for the semi-annual Reddit episode.
Whenever we get to it, Reddit episode.
Where I go through and try to find ones guaranteed to make Dara rant and rave because it's just fun.
Yep, and I don't look at them until the day of recording so that I can give Rara all the reactions she wants.
And this took a little while to come up with some good ones because most of the ones I was finding at first had really great advice. They were really like normal. I came across one where, and this was in a dominant subreddit, where the guy was complaining because his new sub didn't want to send him pictures as proof of things he had done. And the responses were amazing. Every single response was basically, look, I get it, but they're allowed to have that limit. And there's nothing wrong with them for having that limit. It just shows they're not compatible with you if it's something you need. But no judgment. They're allowed to have that limit. And I was like, because I was all prepared to respond with a rant and rave about this. And I couldn't because everybody gave really great, reasonable answers.
Well, I am so sorry that you didn't get to rant.
Thank you.
It took away most of your fun, didn't it?
It did. Now, I didn't read any of the answers on these. I just got hooked by the quote-unquote headline, the first sentence. And some of them made me laugh. But I thought they would be a very good opportunity for us to answer them. So I picked out a couple. Hopefully we have enough time to get them all in. If not, then I'll start my list for the next one.
Depends on how ranty we get. That's usually the problem.
Okay, so this first one I just had to do because I think it was hysterical. So my parents are kinky, and very loud about it. Right? I felt this is so appropriate for me.
Oh my God. Did your son write this?
Well, no, but if you read. So here you go. Hello, everyone. I'm in a super weird situation and really need your advice. So, as the title suggests, my parents do shibari and engage in other kink activities. I don't want to get into it too much, so here's a short backstory. I always suspected it. I myself am deep into the BDSM world, and one day there were just too many hints. So I asked my mom about the ropes and bamboo poles in the guest room. We giggled about it, shared some innocent stories. I suggested parties, etc. All at that time, I think our connection deepened and it was our little secret. Fast forward a few weeks, the situation explodes. They go to every single party in our country. There are
Whoa.
suspension spots in different parts of their house, latex cleaner in the bathroom, a gigantic shibari corner in the living room, including bamboo suspension pole. It's
Whoa.
massive. The guest room, where my boyfriend and I stay when we're over, turned into a sex room with dark furniture, suspension opportunities, candles, clothespins, and mirrors. There's matching rope bracelets, a leather choker, pictures of my mom with highly visible rope marks in our family group. They're super loud about that topic. There's no way you can miss it when you're at their house. It's just too much. I know it's their home and they can do whatever, but it makes me uncomfortable when I'm over. I can't go to parties because they've booked them already. I can't use the BDSM social media because they're super active there too. There's a ton more things they do that make me go crazy, but those are the main points. I tried talking to them about it, but my mom acted like I was trying to take the whole thing away from them. She didn't understand how I feel. So, what do you think about that? Am I overreacting? What should I do?
I would lose my fucking mind if that were my mom. I don't know how your son deals with you, but he's also not in the kink world. So, okay. So seriously, we know people in the community who have brought their children to kink events. They're adult children. Let's just make that clear. So like, how do they navigate that? I've always wondered.
I did a needle demo scene on somebody who two women came over to me, and the one woman who I've worked with before and have done needles in says, I brought my daughter to you. She wants to try needles, and I knew you would be the person for her to try it with. And I went, okay, look, I'm super close with my daughter, who we suspect is someday going to be a dom.
She is.
I would not go with her to an event. And not that I wouldn't feel comfortable. She would not feel comfortable. I have no modesty whatsoever. But I know it would make her insane. I think you need to sit down and have a talk with the parents because obviously I'm guessing based upon the story that they are not American. So
Well,
maybe
yeah,
there's
the
not as
part
many
about going
options.
to every event in the country, it must be a very small country.
Probably, or at least maybe in their area. I think you need to sit down and have a talk with your parents again, where you go over, look, I'm not trying to take anything away from you, but
Yeah,
here's what's happening.
I
I
need you
think,
to ease back a little bit.
yeah, I think you need to give up on what's happening in the house. It's their house. They're paying the mortgage on it. They can do what they want in their home, which you don't live in, you're just visiting. But talking to them about, hey, at least parties, can we pre-plan so you go to one and I go to another? Because look, it's uncomfortable for me watching my parents get naked and have sex or whatever they're doing at these parties. And figure it out. And I know that's what I would do. Like if my child was also into it, I'd help them find the parties that would be safe for them. And then I'd go to different ones.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've brought people into kink, but I've gone to parties with my cousin. I brought her to your house. You know, when we found out that she was also kinky, she came to visit. I brought her to your house and I even did electro on her. However, that's different than if it were my parent or if it were my child. I just, talking to the parent, I mean, obviously they've already tried that and it didn't go over too well, but that's literally the only thing you can do and work out some sort of compromise.
My guess is the reason it probably didn't work well is they were they were trying to stop them from doing stuff.
Well, yeah, you
And
can't do that.
right? And again, like they get to do what they want in the house. It's their house. And if that makes you that uncomfortable, don't stay in their house. And maybe if you stop visiting them or when you visit, you stay at a hotel and don't go into their house, that'll make mom and dad kind of go, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, maybe we need to
They're
work on that.
serious, right?
Let's be a little more subtle.
Right. If you presenting it from, hey, don't do that, then I understand. Maybe the parents found this later in life and don't want to give up what they're enjoying. As far as the social media, can you block them so you can still be a part of social media but not see theirs? Like if I found a friend of mine found out that her dad was kinky because he came up on her FetLife profile.
Yeah.
Like when she was going through, somebody she knew liked one of their pictures and she went, oh, shit, that's my dad. So I don't know if the BDSM social media is FetLife or something else, but can you block them so you don't see that stuff? Maybe that's what it is. But I don't think you can approach it from the don't do this. I think it must be like, hey, can we just figure out a way that you can do what you want, but I can do what I want and we don't do it at the same place?
Right.
Because I get it. You want to be able to be comfortable when you go to your kink things.
Well, this one's going to be cool. How do I stay?
Yeah.
How do I stay no kink shaming but still hold a hard boundary? Ooh, see, that's interesting as fuck because I do that. I need to do that. I sound like I'm kink shaming when I have a boundary. But anyway, except for with Barbara, then I'm shaming.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's allowed. All right, so this one says, I need help/guidance. I've always been very open about kink in a healthy, non-chaotic way. That's a weird way of talking about it. I advocate for lowering shame around BDSM and kink play, and I've made it clear over the years, if it's between fully informed consenting adults and doesn't involve anyone who illegally or ethically can't consent, minors or public, I don't shame it. Because of that stance, people open up and trust in me. Last night, a long time but distant friend made me promise multiple times that I don't kink shame ever. I repeated what I always say. Then they told me they're in a romantic and sexual relationship with their first cousin, and I'm the only one who knows. Their excitement in telling me made me feel like the knowing this was part of the thrill they get from it. Or me knowing this was part of the thrill. I shut down emotionally from this info and only managed to respond about birth control and protection. I haven't known what to say since. I hugged them goodbye and vented on one of my vanilla friends I trust since I needed to offload some steam. Here's where I'm stuck. Incest roleplay isn't a kink I support.
No, it
Actually
is.
being
It is.
is. I didn't see. Okay. I'm projecting. Incest roleplay is a kink I support. Actually being related and acting on it feels like something completely different. I don't know how to wrap my mind around this. I don't want to cause destructive shame, but I also don't want to normalize something that crosses a hard ethical line for me. I have always been the safe person, but now I feel like I need to define a boundary, and I don't know how to express without feeling like I'm betraying my own values. So my question is, how do you hold space for discussion like this without kink shaming while still having a line you do not cross? How do you communicate that boundary without doing more harm? So there's a huge difference between role play and actually doing. I do CNC. That's role play. Actual rape? No. I do role play where I have sex with my quote daddy, and that's fine. However, actually somebody having sex with their real dad and being a minor while doing it, hard fucking no. There is a huge difference between role play and actually doing something. And first cousin is illegal.
I don't think it's illegal to have sex with them. I think it is unhealthy to have. There's a risk if you have children with them because the DNA will get all messed up. But I don't think it's actually illegal as long as both are consenting adults. Does it make it creepy? Okay, yeah.
Oh, it depends
does.
on the specific location and the laws of your state.
As
There's no
so many
federal law,
things.
but there is state laws.
I think in this instance, what this person is trying to say is, look, I'm going to try not to kink shame, by letting them do what they want to do. But I have this boundary that I would really like to not hear about it. And I think that is very valid. And I think that's what you need to tell them and say, hey, look, I'm not judging you. You get to do whatever you want. You're both consenting adults, but I get to not hear about it. And that's my boundary.
Arizona, Nevada, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Texas, Utah, and Wisconsin, it is actually explicitly a criminal offense to have relations with your first cousin. Other states permit it with conditions like being over the age of 50 or if one person is infertile.
Okay. Well, you see, because that's the worry is about children because it's
Right.
not good for the DNA. Listen, it's also illegal to own more than one dildo in Arizona. So I don't know how much they would actually get involved
And
in this if it
BDSM is
came up.
generally illegal in every state, so whatever. But still, there's a huge difference.
Right. But I think their concern is they really want to stand firm on their ethics of not kink shaming and not telling people what you can and can't do.
Well, I don't think it's kink shaming to say my boundary is I don't want to hear about it, not you can't do it.
Exactly. I think that they want to be, they think not kink shaming means I'm going to be supportive and you get to do what you want to do.
That's not what kink shaming is or isn't. It's the boundary is I don't want to hear about it. Kink shaming is going, ew, that's fucking disgusting. You're an insane person for doing it. That's kink shaming. I am not telling somebody they can't do what they want to do. I am simply saying I don't personally want to hear about it.
When they talk about their excitement in telling me made it feel like me knowing this was part of the thrill they get from it. So I think they were trying to be like, I'm supportive. You get a thrill from telling me because they want to do, how do you hold space for discussion about it? I don't think you can.
There doesn't need to be space for discussion about it. That's the thing.
It makes you uncomfortable. It might even make you go ick. And I don't think that's kink shaming. I think you're allowed to think something is icky. That is your personal opinion. I think it's icky. I won't do it. It only becomes kink shaming when you tell somebody else you shouldn't do it either because it's icky and you're wrong for doing it. Saying
Yeah.
I can't hear, like the whole thing with the blood play, right? I love it. It's a wonderful thing. I have so much fun with it. For you, it makes you uncomfortable. It is well within your rights and totally not kink shaming to be like, Rara, you go do you, boo. I just don't want to see pictures and I don't want to know the details.
Which is what we do, and it's fine. Like, there's an entire channel in our Discord that is dedicated to just that I don't look at.
Right? And we also put spoilers on pictures so that you have a choice. You are obviously giving consent the minute you click on it because
Right.
we've spoiled it and we've told you. And we do the same thing, not just with pictures, but with text. There's a way within the Discord server to set a text up as a spoiler and with a trigger warning or a content warning so that when you open it up, that's your consent. I know what's in here. I'm going to open it up.
Yeah,
So
and
I
let's face
think,
it, half the time I look at it anyway because I have very severe FOMO, but that's my choice.
but then you can't get mad at the rest of us.
And I don't. I've even told you that some of the stuff, the designs and stuff was pretty because it wasn't the needles themselves, it's the blood part. So if there's blood, I don't look at it. But if you say there's a really pretty needle design that I just did, I'm so proud of it. And why the fuck is everybody going so crazy about it? And I look at it and go, oh, that's really pretty.
I just think you have to give up on the idea that you have to support it by talking to them. I don't think that's going to happen because it is weird. And it would be very hard for me to listen to them talk about that and not kink shame or judge.
Well, not to mention the fact that if they're telling you about it is part of the thrill, the telling the taboo part is part of the thrill. That's not something you explicitly gave consent for. If you, the question was the request was don't kink shame. And they're not, but you did not give express permission to be told about this thing that you don't like. So therefore that person is in the
Bingo. So I think we both agree. Just you have to tell them, I can't talk to you about it.
Yeah. Set your boundary. That's perfectly acceptable. Everyone has boundaries. That is one.
So I picked this next one because this actually happened to me in real life when I was doing my cosplay as a submissive. Only I can call him daddy. My husband, male 50, is embarking on a BDSM journey with a separate play partner. We have been ethical non-monogamous most of our marriage, 30 years. And recently, my husband has expressed a desire to explore his BDSM side, which I had knowledge he had. He was ashamed to admit, even to me, he had these desires, such as choking, flogging, slapping, etc. It's been a long journey, but I'm beginning to understand that this is something he needs to do with someone he is not close to, someone he doesn't have in his regular day-to-day life. We had just begun our own kink exploration with Daddy Dom Submissive. It is a huge turn on to have him be my daddy, and I submit to him easily. But one thing I have expressed in his separate BDSM exploration with his play partner is that she not call him daddy or him call her his good girl. I want to keep this a kink we have solely for ourselves. Am I asking the impossible here? How does he tell his play partner he is not her daddy? I can't control what she says, but how does he maintain a Dom persona in play without being called daddy? And how can he praise her without calling her a good girl? Should I give up the idea? Submit to his daddy Dom and let anyone call him daddy?
Okay, can I just go right in on this one because
Sure.
this is irritating the shit out of me.
Okay.
Like, fucking duh. There's so many other words other than daddy. Come on, people. Like, stop using everything you read in romance books as your entire only lingo for this. Like, stop it. There are other things. My daddy and I have had this discussion. If I fucking die and he gets remarried to another little, he is not allowed to call that little princess, and she is not allowed to call him daddy. Period. End of story. Even if I'm fucking dead. Because that is his and my thing only. If we have, so we do this thing where like he gets to be stepdaddy to people, I'm okay with that. There's the word step in there. I have another one of his really good friends that I refer to as Poppy. There's another one that I refer to as captain. There are a shit fuck ton of other words that you can use other than daddy that can mean something different. There's different connotations for different words. Find one that fits their dynamic or have them find one. And you can say something other than good girl. You can say pet. You can say fuck princess. I mean, what? Come on. This is a stupid question. That one pissed me off.
So I have an entirely different viewpoint. When I first got into it with Voldemort, he was my daddy. I was his baby girl. And initially, I was like, I need nobody else to be baby girl. It's just me. And part of the reason is this was my first experience in ethical non-monogamy. And I was able to compartmentalize by saying, well, he has wife, he has girlfriend, he has baby girl. So
Right.
if he brings on another partner, they would be something different because this is what each one of us has and this is what each one of us offers. And when he brought in the other woman, he
That
ended
woman.
up eventually like she was baby girl and she wanted to call him daddy. And I really, really struggled with it because I was like, it was easy for me to handle polyamory when I'm the only baby girl. But handling polyamory when maybe there's somebody else who offers the same thing that I'm offering, how does that work? Like, is that now my competition? So that's how I used to think about it. I have evolved in my ethical non-monogamy journey. And I will tell you, if you talk to the polycule community, the ENM community, they will tell you that it is 100% wrong to put a limit like that into the polyamory world. That similar to a one penis policy or one pussy policy. That's not how it's supposed to work. That what you offer is you, and there's no other you. So if there's another baby girl, yes, she might have the same title or same nickname, but you're offering different things because you're different people and you do different things for that person. And what I was able to look at is I offered him the extrovert who he could go to parties with and I would socialize and we didn't have to hang on to each other and we could go off and meet other people and then come back. The other baby girl wasn't that way. She wasn't the social butterfly extrovert that I was. So here we are with the same title, but we're offering very different things to him. And in this case, while I do understand completely that hearing him use the same title for his other partner, baby girl, kind of icks you out, or good girl, and you want to be the only one calling him daddy. While you obviously can sit down and say, hey, it would be really cool if we could establish this boundary. You have to kind of accept if the other person is like, yeah, no, that doesn't work for me. Because it's really hard, even if to say, I don't want you calling anybody else good girl, even if he said yes in the moment, good girl probably just comes naturally and he just uses it. And now you've put him in a position. Does he tell you? You're probably not there. So does he tell you I used it? Does he not tell you and you find out and now you call him a liar and you're angry at him? It just gets really, really complicated. So instead, what I would recommend you focus on is remembering all the things that you are offering him that this other person isn't. For example, you're the wife, you're his nesting partner. You live in the house. You are the one who started this BDSM journey with him. You are the one helping him on that. This other person is doing something different. And realize it's not about the words, it's about the feelings and the connection and the relationship. Now, obviously, I think there'll be people who will agree totally with Dara that it doesn't work for me, find other words, and I don't like this. I just think if you start going down that route, then there's all of a sudden going to be, instead of just saying don't use daddy and don't use good girl, now that list is going to start to grow because you're so busy focusing on that the next time he pats the top of her head, you're like, oh no, don't do that either. That's my thing. Or he does the whatever else you have in the relationship. Everything's going to become added to this list. Oh, I don't like you when you do this. And so you're focusing on the wrong thing.
I just don't think it's unreasonable to say, this is my thing. I would appreciate it if you would come up with something else. I don't think that's unreasonable. And then what you would do for that other stuff is, okay, this is the list. That's it. Everything else is fine. And then you have to fucking stick with it. But I don't think see, here's the thing. I'm not actually polyamorous. So anything that I'm going to say about this is not from that viewpoint. Like, we say we're monogamish, but we don't have relationships with other people. We have sometimes play partners every once in a while, but it's not an actual relationship with that other person. And that's the viewpoint that I am coming from. And that's the one that I'm going to stick with. That's my goddamn husband.
That's fair, right? And I am polyamorous and I currently have 2 relationships going on. One is not a dynamic and one is dynamic-ish because we're testing some things out and we're trying some things. And I don't think you can have moments where you don't struggle in polyamory. I think that's just natural. We're human. And most of us have been raised to believe monogamy is the only way you can do things. And so when you kind of go against the norm and you say, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to do different things, there's going to be times where you're going to be kind of struggling. Like, I did go through a period of time where Diesel had other partners that he was doing stuff with. And I'm like, why is he doing it with them? Why is he not doing it with me? And when I really stop and think about it, I didn't really actually want to do those things.
Right.
They weren't things that interested me. They weren't things I had the time to do. But it was just a momentary thought of, wait a minute, how come they get to do that with him and I don't? And yeah, I had to just take a step back and go, do I really want to do that with them? No. So then, like, stop being upset about it.
Right. I don't know. It's like, see, I'm never going to come at this from a polyamory point of view because I'm not.
It has been quite a learning experience for me. And I'm not sure I'd be able to do it as easily if I had, let's say, a partner who's a husband or a partner who lived with me. It's a little easier for me to be, that's what I say. I don't even know what to call myself. Like, I'm not married. I don't call either one of my partners my boyfriend. So and I also feel like at 60, calling somebody your boyfriend is kind of weird.
No, partner is fine.
So I call them partner. But I find it has gotten easier than, let's say, when I first got into it. I've learned and I've grown and I recognize there's a lot of self-reflection of recognizing what is and isn't okay and what I'm comfortable with. I've met some of Diesel's other partners. I've enjoyed some of them, and I could see myself hanging out with them, just the two of us, and not even with Diesel. There was another partner, not as much of a fan of. I felt similar to that woman with Voldemort. I felt like this other partner with Diesel didn't like me and didn't necessarily want me around, but she could
Didn't
also
respect the
be
previous relationship. Yeah.
she also could have just been um anxious or have social anxiety issues, and just it came across. I'm trying to learn that sometimes the resting bitch face is not an actual bitch. There's just other things at play here. So I think you need to sit down and talk to your husband about it, because just sucking it up is not going to work. That much I can tell you. But talk
Mm-mm.
about it and see what works. And he might reassure you, going, hey, hun, even though these are the names that we're using or the words that we're using, understand they're no threat to you. Because that's what the worry is. I see this from when I dealt with this. The worry about their threat. If we have the same name, they can replace me.
Yeah.
And so having the conversation with your husband to understand that, no, you can't be replaced. You're the only you. I mean, you're going to be the only wife. You can't be replaced on that. We don't allow multiple marriages.
Well, we do know somebody who just had their husband had a commitment ceremony with their pregnant partner a few months ago.
But I believe they all live together. They've really created an
Yeah.
amazing polycule. So they live
They're
together. The kids are being
call
raised together.
each other mommy. Yes.
Yeah.
They had two mommies and a daddy.
They are amazing. That to me, when I think of, I've always been into kitchen table polyamory, even though that's not necessarily what I have with Diesel right now. I like the idea of we're all friends or we're all part of a team, and I can do things with my metamors, just us.
Right.
It just doesn't always work because everybody has to have that opinion.
Right. And I've met her, Metamore, and she's absolutely lovely.
Oh, I'm sure she is. I can't imagine that working with somebody who wasn't.
She brews beer.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of badass, actually. Or no,
Right.
wine? I think she makes her own wine. That's what it was. We drank some. It was so good.
Either way, it sounds way cool.
All right, let's see.
All right.
Feeling weak compared to my GF. My girlfriend is a hardcore masochist. She's very well known and liked on the local scene for her. Wait, on the local scene for her, among other things, experience, good judgment of character, and last but not least, her unbelievable pain tolerance. She's known as the lunatic, for crying out loud. Sounds like Rara's
And
new bestie.
anybody you know?
Yeah, well, except we don't use lunatic. We just use absolutely fucking insane person.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I feel weak for not having as high a pain tolerance as her. Why? Do I want to be the lunatic too? Do I want people watching me in awe for being hit with barbed wire wrapped baseball bat? Do I
Oh,
want them
cool.
admiring my bruises? Oh God. Do I let jokes about Doms being weak for not liking pain get to me? Whatever it is, it boils down to fears of not being good enough and being forgotten and excluded. Does anybody have a similar experience? Well, Ravra is not going to be able to answer this because she does not have a similar experience because she is the lunatic. I, on the other hand, sometimes do get pretty pissed off at myself for having an incredibly low, well, that's not true. Here's the thing. I have a high pain tolerance for my usual, for things that I deal with every day because of my particular disease and disability. It fucking sucks, but I'm used to it. I've been dealing with it since I was 7 years old. It's not something I'm going to be able to change anytime soon. And even though it sucks, I have a relatively high pain tolerance when it comes to that. However, getting hit with something? Absolutely not. Do I want to show off my bruises? Absolutely not. Is it a thing that I will in any way, shape, or form do ever? No, it is not. But I do get jealous of the attention Rara gets for being able to do it.
I think it's to compare yourself is natural. I think that's just being a human, and
I'm
you're
a
worried
human?
about a human. You're a human.
I'm a
So I
human.
get it. I mean, look, say it all the time. I might be extreme compared to Dara, but then there's people who are extreme compared to me. There's always somebody who's doing something more or bigger.
Well, and then here's the other side of it. I am extreme in a completely different way than Rara. I like humiliation. Rara does not. She won't touch it. There are mental aspects of this that I really, really enjoy and will go so deep down that rabbit hole. And Rara's go, nope, you're crazy. Nope, not doing that.
No, and
So,
people don't understand. They don't think of words as being extreme. Hello, I will heal much faster from an impact bruise than I would from really terrible, horrible words being said to me.
and I am the 100% opposite. It'll be like a minute or two later after the scene is done. I'm like, oh, that was so much fun. And I'll have super adrenaline from it. But from a bruise, that'll take me around 3 weeks. And I bruise like a fucking peach. And it is a actual direct result of my disability. Disease? I don't know what you want to call it. Whatever it is. Fucking shit.
I talk about this all the time. I mean, I actually have a class called Kink is Not a Competition, where it's really unhealthy for yourself, screw anybody else, but unhealthy for yourself to constantly be comparing. You're a different person. You have different things that you like, different things that satisfy you, and you end up focusing on the wrong things. Somebody recently posted in a different Discord server that I am asking for ideas on how to get more bruises. And people were giving ideas. And somebody even mentioned this idea of being able to take aspirin to thin your blood to increase your bruising. And then, of course, thank goodness they at least added the caveat of seek medical advice from a doctor before you do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one who chimed in and said, you need to stop worrying about damn bruises. Bruises are not, and I get it. This is something I still struggle with even after all this time. And even though I teach about it, when you spend all your time focusing on the bruises, you're forgetting about the connection and the fun you had. You do this great scene. You had a wonderful time. You laughed. It was beautiful. It was everything you needed the scene to be. And then the next day, there's no bruises. All that joy and excitement that you had goes away, and now you're disappointed. And that is sad.
It's not actually the badge of honor that everybody has always made it out to be.
I've got to point, I do look at some of these bruises people have, and I get worried for them. I'm like, that can't be healthy. That just seems extreme to me. But there is something in, and the other thing is too, they wanted more bruises, but they don't like pain. It's like, okay, cool. You don't like pain, then accept you're not going to have bruises like other people. That's just the reality of it.
I think what everybody needs to learn is find your own strength and go with that. You do not have to be the masochist that the lunatic is. You be your own kind of lunatic. Rara thinks I'm fucking insane for some of the stuff that I do.
And if you want people watching you in awe, find something you do that you love that people can watch in awe. That doesn't have to be being hit with a barbed wire baseball bat. Dara did her birthday scene of hitting with the stuffies.
Stuffies, and people
Right?
were into it.
People were watching. People were laughing and having fun. And the smile on Dara's face, the smile on the people's face who were hitting her.
Oh my God.
People like, there's a picture, I don't know if you saw, they posted on FetLife, risque, of Fez hitting you. You don't see your face, so don't worry about it.
I know.
Fez hitting you.
They told me they were going to.
And the smile on Fez's face showed how much fun and enjoyment he was having. And this is a guy who likes to cause people pain, who likes to hit and hurt people. And he wasn't hurting her. And he is having
Not the slightest.
fucking blast. So
actually,
yes,
what was really funny is Fez is one of the first ones to say, can the stuffies be weighted? Can we put quarters inside of it? Can we put sand inside it? Can we do, actually, he was like thinking this entire thing was going to be an actual beatdown scene just using stuffies as the medium, and I was going to be covered in bruises and whatnot. And then I had to explain, I was like, do you know me? You've known me for 8 years now, dude. What part of that did you ever think was going to be actual bruising me and hurting me?
Fez is also the asshole who I didn't even have the 400 needles pulled out. They were still sitting in my body. And that asshole said, so next year, 500.
Right. Yeah. He's that guy. But the point is, he even had a great time. This scene was not about causing pain and how much I can take. It was actually about how much fun can we all have. And it was an actual spectacle.
And then your statement, do I let jokes about doms being weak for not liking pain get to me? Not only should you not let it get to you, you should speak up.
Yeah, who the fuck cares if doms can't take pain? Who the fuck cares?
Well, and if doms don't want to give pain, guess what? They don't have to. Not everybody is into DS for giving pain. And that shouldn't be the reason. Like, I identify as a sadist. I like giving pain. But as I say all the fucking time, it is only fun for me if the person receiving it is having fun. Just hurting somebody for the sake of hurting them is not fun at all. I love the comments. I've already got a sadistic needle scene planned for Naughty Noel. And I remember saying to her, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Because the last time she asked for one and I was giggling as she was going, ow, ow. And she's like, oh my God, you're having so much fun. I said, you asked the sadist for a sadistic needle scene. Of course I'm having fun. But it's only fun because of her reaction and the fact that she enjoyed it and wanted it. I don't, if I heard somebody making a comment, a joke about Doms being weak for not wanting to give pain, I would be speaking up and saying, shut your fucking mouth. That's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You can be, I think to me, trying to do something and not cause somebody pain or not cause bruises is actually harder to do and requires more skill and more control than being able to just hit as hard as I want and leave you with marks. That's easier. So I don't think of them as being weak or anything.
All
right. We are back to the world of polyamory because I thought this was fascinating. Poly subs. Do you wear your collar when you are with your other partners? I'm collared by my dom, who I've been seeing for nearly a year. Soon I'm likely to start dating someone I've been waiting for years. We're going to have a much less kinky relationship. Not to say they're averse to kink or look down on it. They're just not as kinky as I am. For context, they also have a partner who they've been with for almost 2 years. Again, relatively vanilla. Absolutely no power dynamics. For subs in poly relationships, do you wear your collar when you're in the company of a different partner than the one that's collared you? Why or why not?
That's an interesting question.
I would highly say yes. Why not? The collar only means something to the person you're in the dynamic with. Otherwise, it's just a necklace or a ring or a bracelet or an anklet, whatever it is. It's part of who you are. And to me, if I had somebody who said, I don't want you wearing your collar when you're with me, I would be like, then we're not going to be in anything because you can't accept me for who I am. And what I am is a collared submissive.
Well, look, I wear my wedding ring when I play with other people. Same damn thing. It's basically a collar. It is a signal that I am with this other person. So what's the difference? Because a lot of people view the collar as the equivalent, the BDSM equivalent of a wedding ring. So I don't see the difference here. Just respect the prior relationship. That's all you need to do.
I'm surprised they're asking this, honestly, just because it's like, why? It hasn't come up. You don't seem to be having an issue with their potentially new partner.
Like, who has the issue though? I wasn't really understanding that. Is it from, do they personally have an issue, or is it the person that they've been waiting for has the issue with the collar?
I don't think it sounds like anybody has an issue. I think they're trying to be proactive or preemptive and do this without even finding out it's an issue. I don't really know any collared subs who would be comfortable taking off their collar for that.
Like,
I mean,
the only exception would be if it's a play collar and they only wear it during scenes with their partner.
right. I mean, I struggled enough when I was in Baltimore and I had a necklace that was my collar. If I had to go in for surgery for my kidney issues and you have to take off all jewelry, it like broke my heart to take off my necklace for that.
Well, I mean, you know what happened to mine. I haven't worn it in 3 years because the dog kept ripping it off. And we've
Silly
tried to
dog.
replace it. I know, God. And, the chain was just really delicate. That was the only thing. And I just, every single time it would break, I would start crying. And he was just like, okay, we can't be doing this anymore. It's this much money to get the chain fixed every single time the dog rips it or, whatever. And you keep crying every single time. So this is no longer worth actually wearing it. So it has been in my jewelry box for 3 years. I still have it, but I haven't worn it. And like, we both know we don't really need the collar. Like, we know, but, and then he has one that I gave him that he doesn't really wear all the time either. It's just whenever.
Well, you have the wedding band, so that helps too.
Right. Well, I'm not wearing it right now, but that's because I'm just chilling in my house. But
I
yeah.
used to take mine off every night when I went to sleep too.
Well, it's got those little prong things on it, and that catches.
Yep.
On literally everything. Saving the damn ring is more important than me wearing it all the time.
But
He doesn't have that problem because his are all like embedded into the metal.
I don't think you're complaining though. You love your wedding set.
Oh my God, I fucking love it. I picked it out. Of course I love it. We went to 5 different stores before I found one that I liked. We were very particular.
There you go.
And out of my 3 husbands, he is literally the only one that went to a jewelry store and bought me an actual engagement ring. So it is a very important ring.
There you go. All right. This one I think is going to be a very good discussion.
Okay. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. It's the safe word one, right?
Yep.
How do I use a safe word without feeling like I'm ruining my partner's experience? I don't want to do this one anymore. Nope. I'm going to yell.
Nope. Keep going.
Oh boy. Burner account because she knows my other one, but I really don't like using my safe word because I feel like I'm ruining her experience. She has been getting into some stuff I'm not really into, hot wax, putting out cigarettes on me, etc. But even though I don't really like it, I feel dirty for using my safe word and I feel like I'm being a bad partner. Does anyone feel this way and how did you get over it? Get rid of the fucking partner. That's how. If a partner is making you feel that you can't say your safe word, get rid of the fucking partner.
See, I don't assume that the partner is making them feel this way. I know a lot of people who struggle with using their safe word because they don't want to worry about stopping play because their partner loves it. They don't want to appear weak. I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into using the safe word. I've told you guys about the experience I did in an impact scene where I had a running dialogue going through my head going, should I be yellowing? Do I need to yellow? I mean, it was a whole fucking long dialogue in my head about whether or not I should even yellow, let alone red.
Should I point out that that is called a monologue?
You can.
Yeah, okay.
And it was, I really struggled. And I was actually finally reached the conclusion I really probably should yellow at this point, when luckily they stopped doing what they were doing.
Well, that was good timing.
I thought so. And it's crazy because you don't want to appear weak. You don't want to worry about upsetting your partner because there's something that they want to do. But I think there's 2 issues here. First of all, you say she's getting into some stuff that I'm not really into. Forget safe word. Those should be limits, which is something entirely different. Don't do something you're not into because your partner wants you to. That's an unhealthy relationship, and it's not good for either one of you. Let's just assume for argument's sake that your partner's a good person and they want you to be happy and they don't want you to do something just because they're want to do it. If you're not honest with them to tell you how you think and feel about this, then you have an issue in your relationship you need to get past. You need to be in a dynamic where you feel comfortable telling your partner, I don't want to do this. I don't like to do this.
And if your partner is a good person and they find out that you hid that from them, that's going to really upset partner. And in my mind, that's lying. And that's not acceptable.
I have always told my partners, I will be more upset that you didn't use a safe word when you needed to than you used a safe word and we had to stop. And it's why I advocate this for anybody who doms or tops. When your partner uses a safe word, fucking praise the hell out of them. Tell them how proud you are of them for using the safe word. Thank them for using the safe word. Because while we try to watch body language and pay attention to whether our partner is liking what we are doing. We are not mind readers and we can't always tell. And if you're not only not using a safe word when you need to, but you know you should and you're trying to actively hide it, then maybe your body language isn't giving anything away. And so I always say, praise the fucking hell and thank your partner when they use your safe word. So I don't think you're a bad partner. I think just the opposite. You are being a really, really good partner when you use your safe words. You're being honest. You are communicating. You are showing trust that your partner is going to listen to your safe word and stop what they're doing. And so I understand it's hard, but you got to do it.
On the other hand, if you are feeling pressured into doing stuff and you have already expressed that you do not want to do it, get rid of the partner.
Yeah. That's an unhealthy dynamic if you have a partner who is pressuring you into not using your safe word.
It's that same thing with the whole CNC does not have a safe word bullshit.
Yeah, everything has a safe word. It should. And the idea that, well, they just know me. That may be
Nope.
true. That may be true, but my guess is they know you that if it got really bad, you would be like, hey, this is really bad, stop. And they would.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What if you don't know you go nonverbal in certain scenes?
Well, then you have to come up with an alternative, like holding something and dropping it, or the patting on the legs, or patting the furniture, something to indicate, hey, there's an issue.
Yeah, but if it's your first time doing a particular scene and you don't know what your reaction to that scene is going to be, you could have different reactions to different scenes, and your body language isn't communicating this and your partner doesn't know. It's a whole huge amount of complications.
Yeah. All right. So our last one, I thought this would be really interesting because I understand this. I get this one. Always wanting more and more. How to be satisfied. Hello, everyone. I think the following is more of a general problem I have, but I want to ask it in the BDSM context because I feel like some parts of my personality merge together in it. I'm already working on it in a therapy in a more general context. I try to reflect a lot, and now is the point where I just want to ask other kinky people if they can relate. I currently don't have a partner or any kind of relationship, but I also realized these tendencies during the ones I had. The thing is that I feel like I always need more of basically everything I like in the BDSM world, and I never feel really satisfied with the things I do or that happen to me. If I do something, I always ask myself or my play partner, okay, what's next at some point?
Huh.
There rarely is this feeling of being satisfied with myself and what I or we have achieved, and I want to change that. To give you an example, I now wear basically a butt plug every day. I like the feeling. It's all good in principle, but on the way to the status, I always ask myself, how can I exceed this? And then did it at some point. Another one, I like to wear collars I still own for myself because it gave me this spark of excitement. Then I wore one in public because the spark of the excitement of wearing it for myself wasn't big enough anymore. I started to want others to see it. Now I'm planning to let it be part of my Halloween costume, to wear it around my friends and see their reactions to it. Spanking, being tied, bondage, holding positions, durations. At some point, I needed more and more and more to feel this excitement again. Because I always have these thoughts in my head. I've reached this level now. Now this is boring. I need more. Some psycho Ds might say, oh, wow, perfect sub. But I never feel fully satisfied that way, no matter what I do or how hard, long, big, painful, deep, or whatever it gets. Can you somehow relate to this? May I ask your thoughts about it? How do you manage to reach a level in your dynamic where you can be satisfied with something and don't need more, where you don't always want more and more of it?
So that sounds like a pretty severe dopamine addiction.
Mm-hmm. Look, I get wanting to do more. I feel the same way, right? Like I seriously, but jokingly say, okay, so I just did 400 needles this year. How the fuck do I top myself next year? Because I do. I like to do more. I like to challenge myself more. And it's not that I wasn't satisfied with the 400, because that was, I mean, how could you not be satisfied? That was amazing. But I do like the constant challenge myself. But you also have to be very careful. And a lot of this, I'm glad they say they do a lot of self-reflection and they're working on this in therapy. You also have to say, but I don't want my desire to do more to take away from the satisfaction of what I'm doing now. And so I want to live in the moment and enjoy that 400 needles and enjoy what we did with it. So that's why I talk about it a lot, because I want to revel in it and show my enjoyment for it and not spend all my time focusing on how do I top that for next year. And I think you need to kind of sit down and figure out what is going on. Why are you not feeling satisfied? Is it that you're a dopamine addict and you got to find other ways to do it? Is it that you're not actually doing this for the right reasons? You're doing this from a competitive nature? If you do change things up, maybe don't change it up going from 0 to 60, maybe just go from 0 to 5.
Yeah,
So
much smaller increments.
right? So you've got time to build it. I mean, obviously you're not the only person who feels this way, because I have those moments where I'm trying to do more. And the stuff that you're doing it for yourself. And I wonder, if you had a partner, would the more be seeing their pleasure? Would that give you enough dopamine and happiness that you're not so much worried about giving more? Maybe you need to have a praise kink. So when you do something, they're praising you and that fills you up with the dopamine. You don't necessarily need to do more next time.
Yeah, sounds about right. I'm just like, that really came across as a pretty severe dopamine addiction, though. Like needing help level.
Well, they said they're in therapy. So
Yeah.
that's good. And I think it's good you recognize this about yourself. Being self-aware is, I find the older I get, the more self-aware I am. I've had more years to learn about me and
Mhm.
understand me and accept my strengths and my weaknesses. Doesn't mean I'm going to change them. If I haven't changed them by now, I'm not so sure I'm going to change them. But I'm working on it still. It's a constant battle.
Constant uphill battle.
But I do understand, and I feel sympathetic. I think they need to really sit down. I'm glad they're working on it with their therapist and figure out, since it sounds like this isn't just something in their kink life, that it's something they also feel in their vanilla life.
Yeah,
So they
that's why I
definitely
said
need to work on
it's
it.
not just a kink addiction and wanting to challenge yourself there. It's a full blown everything addiction. And if nothing is satisfying you, hell, GLP-1s actually help with that.
Did you hear recently that they have finally come out and said GLP-1 should be your first line of defense for somebody who's overweight? Stop saying, okay, do the diets, do the exercise, do this. It's like, get them on the GLP-1, because it is an emotional, mental thing.
Yeah, well, it worked for me, and then I was off of them because the whole first of all, I can't actually afford the full thing. My insurance doesn't cover it. And second of all, when they stopped doing the what do you call it?
The compounding.
The compounding, that was no longer allowed, I couldn't do it anymore. And now I'm having that struggle again with, with the food thing again. So, and it's just, you are never ever satisfied. And you have to keep coming up with other ways of fixing the craving. So until they can get health insurance to cover it for obesity, instead of just, because I don't qualify any other way.
Yeah, I don't weigh enough. I am not overweight enough to qualify, which I guess is not a horrible thing.
I mean, technically, I don't think I do either, but I was able to do the compounding one. But yeah, just fucking ridiculous.
But I was pretty impressed going through the subreddits that didn't really find anything that made me want to scream, going, oh my God, what the fuck are you all saying in response to it? Because going through Reddit is always a challenge and an adventure. And it's when I have to, sometimes I do have to stop and remind myself, okay, Rara, people do it differently than you, and that's okay.
You also have to remind yourself that you've been banned, so you can't respond anyway.
Oh, I don't have to remind myself. It reminds me. Right in the part where I could comment, it tells me you cannot
I haven't even
comment here.
bothered. Yeah. I haven't even
Well,
tried.
I still read it because of, episodes like this. Plus, again, content. Remember in our thankful episode, I was thankful for the quote unquote experts who give me
Mhm.
material. And a lot of that is on Reddit. So I don't give up on that. I just, it's hard. I read different ones where I want to just scream. The ones where people are like, is this normal? And it's like, if you have to ask this is normal, you know it's not. You just know it's not. And if you're doubting yourself, listen to that doubt. If it's the whole thing with kink is if it's not making you happy, if it's not fulfilling you,
Throw it out.
then you got to figure out what's going on. You're supposed to, it's happy.
If it doesn't bring you joy, throw it out.
Well, I don't want to throw out kink.
Well, throw out parts of it. If it doesn't make you happy, why do it?
Well, I don't know because it does make me happy.
I wasn't talking about you.
Oh, yeah.
As
Okay.
like the global you.
Oh, the global me. All right. Because,
The royal you.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the royal me. So I'll give a little plug here to we have 3 subreddits that we run. The royal we run on Reddit. Only 2 of which I actually pay much attention to. The third one I kind of have let it just be.
Once or twice I've gone in there and looked at something and been like, that's spam, and deleted it.
But the first one the subreddit is BDSM_education, where it's supposed to list classes and books and conventions. The whole point of it's not to like educate yourself. It's go, here are the places you can go to get educated. And the amount of people who use it like an advice subreddit really frustrates me because it says clearly in the rules and the description of what it is, this is not an advice subreddit.
But that's your first problem. People don't read.
No. And though there is somebody on there who is a femdom, obviously not from America. She's speaking English, but that accent is so thick, it's hard for me to understand sometimes. She does education on YouTube. It's what she calls it, but it's really, I think, trying to find pay pigs or something else. And I've let it keep going on there because people should get exposed to different things. But she posted something on there the other day that I just had to comment about kink being customizable and it's good you want that, but that's not a requirement. I think it was something like what a good submissive is. And I'm like, yeah, for you, that's what a good submissive is. I want a different kind of submissive and all that. So, utilize that. If you know of classes or conventions or whatever, please go into that subreddit and add them so we can get word out about more education things. The other one, and I really need to plug this one because I need y'all to add more content in there, is BDSM_AITA. Am I the asshole? Where you can post things that are happening in your kink world and ask, am I the asshole? Is this other person the asshole? Like, what's going on? So I need more people to contribute to that. We are not the only podcast that does Reddit episodes. Loving BDSM also does their Reddit episodes, and bless their hearts, they look there first because they need more content. So I need you guys to post in there. We have, I can't tell you how many people we have anymore because Reddit changed their analytics. I can tell you we've had 743 visitors in the last week. But I know what I commented on. She posted, "Are you real submissive or a kinkster?" As if those are different.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Right? So I love this. So I posted, "Kinkster is an umbrella term used for anyone partaking in the kink lifestyle. Submissives fall under the kinkster library. We also shouldn't use the term real submissive because there's no one right way to be submissive. What one dom wants might be totally different from what another one wants. So calling someone a real submissive just gatekeeps people from finding what fits their dynamic." And then I love, somebody wrote, "What the fuck even is this? None of this is accurate. There's no such thing as a real sub versus not. Kinkster is literally anyone kinky. This video is super judgmental and icky." And I love this one. "Does being a real sub involve payment by any chance?"
There it is.
And yes, it does. So I need more people to post in here, please. And give me content and help others. So that's it for this episode. If you like what we do here on the Reddit ones, by all means, send to us different posts you see that you'd like us to include in our next episode of Reddit Files. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a minute of our fun and educational content. New episodes drop every Friday.
If you love what we do and want to help us keep creating, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast. You can also support our affiliates to benefit small businesses and us at the same time.
No extra cash? No problem. You can still help by spreading the word about your favorite kinky podcast. Share us with your friends, and don't forget to rate and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Those 5-star reviews mean the world to us. And those 5-star reviews go a long way in boosting our podcast through the algorithm and reaching more listeners.
Sign up for our Pink Kink Institute classes. Shop at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique. Stay connected with us on social media. You'll find all the links on our link tree posted in the show notes.
Your support means the world to us. So until next time, stay pink
and level up your kink knowledge.